Well, we are a few weeks into fall. The temperature is dropping, the leaves are changing, and we are right here in the Idaho kitchen with Leslie Dabney. She's the Vineyard Mom. She has your solution for dinner tonight. I'm doing this because it smells so incredibly amazing. We're making some fall stew, right?
Yes, with a lot of great autumn flavors that'll get you nice, cozy, and definitely comfy for the nice, cool weather.
I love it. Okay, so kick us off. What do we do?
Oh my goodness. So this has, like I said, a lot of fall flavors. I like to keep it seasonal.
Okay.
But the great thing about this is it's simple to make. So we started off already with sauteing just some onions, a little bit of carrots, a great fall vegetable, and I love mushrooms. So I put mushrooms in. Oh, good. So I put mushrooms in mine, but we're going to add a lot of flavor. So can you hand me the garlic?
I sure can. I would love to sous chef you.
And guess what? Nothing tastes better than garlic that's been sauteed, right?
Yes. Nice aromatic.
Yes, and then we're going to add a little bit of thyme, salt, and pepper.
Amazing.
That's going to add a lot of fall flavor too. That's one of my favorite go-tos when it comes to seasoning: sage and a little bit of thyme. So we're going to add that as well.
Do you want me to dump this in for you? Okay, you got it.
Thank you. Oh, awesome. And then what we like to do is get that to really get the flavors going.
Yes.
And then I like that depth of flavor that you get when you add a tomato paste.
Absolutely.
So for me, adding a little tomato paste, concentrated flavor, adds so much to any dish. So if you're doing a soup or a stew, add that to it.
A little acidity, right?
Yes, and it just kind of gives it that flavor that it's been cooking all day, even though this is only going to take about a half an hour. So
oh, what? You should have led with that. That's the best part, because stew, you usually have to think ahead, right? You got to get your slow cooker or your Dutch oven going.
If you want to do a slow cooker, you can turn this into an all-day thing. But look at that smell.
You don't have to.
It's so
marvelous.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, because it's a stew, we're going to make it a little thicker. So we're going to add a little bit of flour to it.
It's just flour.
Just flour.
Okay.
And we're going to do that just to, like I said, add that thickener. So we want it to cook just a minute or two, because we want that raw flavor of flour out, because we know how that tastes.
Yes. Yeah. You don't want it to be powdery. You want it to be like warm and what am I trying to say? Juicy.
Yes. And that that great texture of it being a little bit thick. Now, if for any reason you're not a fan of, say, the tomatoes or some carrots or mushrooms, if you like butternut squash, go ahead and put that in. If you like cauliflower, this is very flexible. There's no shame in your game.
Okay,
you can
I love that.
change it up the way you want. So see how that's becoming nice.
So it's kind of almost like a roux, right?
Exactly, exactly. So now we're going to add our diced tomatoes first.
Diced tomatoes.
Yes, and I love that
And you left the juice in there as well?
Yes, yes, and we're going to need that to make that, just the difference between a soup and, having something too thick. So we want a little bit of that in there. Now, I'm going to add either, you can do veggie or chicken stock. I make my own chicken stock. So I'm going to add that too. That's what I like to do. So if you can add in the chicken stock, but like I said, if you want to do veggie, that's fine. And there's great stocks in the store. So go right ahead and, use one if you want to from the store.
All right.
Okay, so we're going to add finally our potatoes, and they're going to cook for a little bit. And we are going to finish with some spinach. I like spinach. If you like kale,
I love
add kale.
I love spinach, but I can't have kale. So I'm glad that you are doing the spinach as a nice substitute.
So pretty. And we're just going to let it simmer like this for like 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
For the potatoes to soften, soak up some of that broth.
Beautiful. And it's going to taste great. I already have one done. Nice, thick, and delicious. I make extra so you can take it the next day for work.
And in my opinion, stew, I think, is even better when it's sat in the fridge overnight, and then you reheat it, right? And then it just, all those flavors kind of marinate and marry together even more. All right.
So good.
But you're pairing this with something else that's just as
we're going to have a quick and easy cornbread. For me, this is pantry staples. I love to have some cornmeal.
I just picked some up this weekend, actually.
Perfect.
I was like, it's fall.
Right.
Got to have cornbread in the pantry.
That's what I do. I stock up on it. This is just flour, some baking soda, some salt, and then the cornmeal. My wet ingredients, oil, an egg, and some milk. That's it. And I just easily incorporate this. And if you like muffins, you can do it in muffin tins.
Okay.
If you want to do it in like a, just a regular baking pan, that's good too. I sometimes like to change it up a little bit so everyone can kind of get whatever size of piece they want.
Yeah.
So I put it in this tin, just like this.
Nice.
And that way you can cut the size you want. One of the tricks with this is don't overwork your batter.
Oh.
We don't want this to be tough. So even if there's a few lumps or it doesn't look like it's completely incorporated, that's what we want. We don't want it to be
So it's kind of like working with a pancake mix.
Yes.
You don't want to overstir because you want that fluffiness in there.
Right. And if you overwork it,
and the gluten
it
and all that, and it makes it tough, and you're like, why is it so dense?
And it doesn't taste as good. And we want it to taste good to go with this beautiful.
Oh, and you want it to be fluffy, so it kind of soaks up some of the yummy juice from the stew.
Oh, now you're making me hungry.
I'm hungry. I was hungry the minute I walked into the studio and smelled the incredibleness that you're making here in space.
So great.
I also want to point out too, what I also love about cornbread too, Leslie, is that you can kind of customize that as well. You can add little corn chunks. You can put some cheese, jalapenos if you want a little kick, right?
And I do make it 10 different ways.
I bet you do.
Love it.
Yes.
But sometimes with all this flavor, I thought I'm going to make it a little simpler today.
Absolutely.
Everyone can make this. Like I said, it's just pantry staples. And there you have a quick and easy meal. But, I like to pair mine with wine.
Oh, of course you do.
So I am going to go ahead and pair mine.
Okay.
I have, and there's a lot of flexibility with this. You can do a Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay.
Or if you want to do a red wine, you can do a Merlot or a Cabernet Sauvignon. Either one is going to be fabulous with it. It's going to hold up great with this stew.
I love it. You have us top to bottom on what we're going to have for tonight, Leslie.
I
Thank
hope
you.
you enjoy
The Vineyard Mom, greatly appreciate you, my friend. And now
Thank
we're all
you.
set for tonight. Everyone stick around. More to come here on Idaho Today right after the break. Seriously.